I rewatched one of my favorite movies from 2020, Promising Young Woman, starring Carey Mulligan, directed by Emerald Fennell. This film really toes the line between genres. You can look at it and kind of see a horror film in a sense. This film is so good. If you've never seen this film, it's basically about a young woman named Cassie. She's kind of dealing from the trauma of losing her best friend. Her best friend in college was essayed by someone who was not held accountable at all. Her best friend faced a bunch of criticism from her fellow classmates. People called her a liar, said she was crying wolf. After her friend sadly took her own life, Cassie has just kind of been stuck in this rut of dealing with her friend's trauma and feeling guilt. So what Cassie does in her free time is she goes to bars and clubs, pretends to be intoxicated, waits till a really good guy tries to help and take her home, and then confronts him before he does something terrible to her. She basically forces these men that view themselves as good guys to come to terms with the fact that maybe they aren't such good guys. Maybe their intentions aren't so good. You know what I'm saying? Cassie later finds out that the man that assaulted her friend is about to get married, and so she's kind of intent on going back into the past and talking to people that were responsible for what happened to her friend and kind of gauge where they are now, how they feel about the situation, and try to get some sort of justice. This film is fantastic. The way it was filmed is really beautiful. They kind of employ a bunch of really bright, vibrant colors. The soundtrack's really peppy. It's like a stark contrast to the seriousness of the subject matter. Cassie's motives are interesting because you can look at it as she's just trying to kind of get revenge for her friend and what she went through, or she is truly kind of trying to change people's mindset. She's trying to confront men who might hurt another woman and make them confront their own intention. This film has a lot of really interesting themes. One thing I really loved about this movie, if you've never seen this movie, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the aspects of the film, so if you don't want to get spoiled, then feel free to bypass this video. One scene I really loved in this film is we see Cassie approach different people from her past and kind of confront them about what happened to her friend and what their actions were in this predicament, and a lot of people had not changed at all. They hadn't grown at all, and so it was really disappointing. She approaches the lawyer that was responsible for her best friend dropping the case against the man that did this to her, and she's really expecting this man to not have any remorse whatsoever, but he is full of remorse. He is so incredibly sorry. He remembers her friend very well. He explains to Cassie what his actions were, how he got paid extra if he pressured women into dropping the essay cases against certain men. He explained how he hasn't been able to sleep because he's been so racked with guilt. He asks her for forgiveness, and in this moment she offers this man forgiveness. She tells him, sleep, go to sleep. And it's such a touching moment because he just kind of collapses in her lap. He is so thankful for this forgiveness because you can see it's genuine remorse for what he has done and what his role was in affecting not only her best friend but other women who went through a similar trauma. I love that scene so much because Cassie isn't just intent on just getting revenge, and she truly does want justice for the situation, and she is willing to offer forgiveness to those that are truly remorseful. This movie really makes the viewer confront just the uncomfy truths of complicity, enabling behavior. We see how institutions like colleges and the justice system have failed people who have been victims of SA. There's a scene where she talks to the dean of the college, and she kind of basically tells Cassie well, I couldn't ruin a young man's life over an accusation like that. And this woman is not able to really put herself in Cassie's best friend's shoes until her daughter is put in a predicament where she can finally see oh, that would be terrible. And Cassie's well, you see, it doesn't matter to you unless it's someone that you love. And that's really unfortunate. There's another girl that she meets that's from their old friend group, and when she meets her, she's not changed her tune at all. She basically accuses Cassie's best friend of crying wolf, how oh, if you don't want to sleep with someone you didn't want to sleep with, maybe you shouldn't have drank so much. And it's not until this character is put in a really tricky situation herself where she thinks she might have had sex with someone non-consensually that she's able to put herself in the shoes of Cassie's best friend. It's just unfortunate when people don't believe victims because they can't necessarily empathize because they've never been through something. It's just really sad when people can't put themselves in someone else's shoes and imagine how traumatic something like that would be. This film, the ending is so interesting. I really enjoyed the ending of the film. It is heartbreaking and gut-wrenching, and Cassie is such an interesting character. She's kind of like this vigilante, a hero archetype that we see. She is seeking justice for what has happened, and she might be doing it in kind kind of weird ways that are not necessarily conformative to societal's norms, but she is trying to seek justice for a wrong that has been done against her friend. I really love this film. I think it brings up a lot of really interesting topics that are really hard to discuss. Just things I feel like we need to talk about more as society. And I understand the topic of SA is really tricky, so I totally get not wanting to see this film if like that's too much for you, but I do highly encourage you to check it out. It's such a great film. I really love this film. Carey Mulligan is fantastic, and Emerald Fennell does a wonderful job directing this film. This film was nominated for multiple Oscars. It did win Best Original Screenplay. The thing I love about this film is that all the men that are kind of portrayed as like the good guys are all the traditional like nice guys in Hollywood that we've seen, like Max Greenfield, Bo Burnham, you know, Adam Brody is in this film. So like you see men that you kind of associate with like nice characters. They are like the good guys that might not be so good. I really love that aspect of casting. They did such a great job. There's so many wonderful people in this film, like Jennifer Coolidge, Molly Shannon. There's so many great people in this film. I highly encourage you to check it out if you haven't seen it before. It's such a good movie.